afternoon, everybody. Here we are, Tuesday, 11th of March, so we're well into it now. Gosh, 3 months into the new year. It's crazy, isn't it? So what we got today, I've done a little bit of something different with my tile today, because I know you've all gone really mad for the Diamine inks and you've got your fountain pens, but if I was to say I've done this with the Diamine ink, can you see that sparkle? So how have I done it? I've got, like a silicone mat, that you put your saucepans and things on. So I put that in the sink this morning, put my tile in, completely doused it in water. Then I got a paintbrush. I shook my ink. There you go. Look, I've got the Arctic, sorry, you can't see that, Arctic blue. There you go. Shook it, and then I put the paintbrush in, and I literally flicked it onto this, and then because there's so much water on it, I added some salt and completely let it dry on its own on a piece of kitchen towel, and that's the result. You can actually, there you go, look, see the sparkle in it. So all the results, and it's completely smooth, so no problems at all drawing over it. So I thought we'd use that. So if you've not tried it yet and you've got this ink, it doesn't use much, it's going to last you for ages, but look at that sparkle in it. Yeah, fantastic. But any colour you like. Having said that, you don't even have to ink it if you don't want to. So, okay, here we go. I do apologise about the little bit of shadow. I can't quite get anywhere in, the sort of downstairs that's not got a bit of a shadow. So let's see how we get on with it then. I'm going to come in with pencil first. And I'm going to start from a corner. Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to go with this one. And I want to draw myself a bit of a curve in. Okay, quite a long curve. All right, and then I'm going to come around and create kind of an odd loopy kind of shape. And then come back in like that. So I've got a really kind of an odd blob shape sort of thing. Okay, so I'm going to come in with my regular pen, my fine liner. I'm not going to go around the whole thing. I'm going to start from about here. And I'm going to come on in. And I'm going to draw in that section there. Okay. So let's go from that point again. And I'm going to come round. And I'm going to join it back to where it sort of comes back on itself. So I've got a bit of a point like that. So far, so good. Okay. So focusing on this bit inside here then, I'm going to come in and I'm going to create more lines, but I'm not trying to make them the same. You see, just sort of follow the shape. Oh, good grief. Oh, sorry about that, everybody. I've got a little boy eating one of my clips. So, okay. And along we go, up into this one. And then down. So I'm sort of filling it with these lines. Doesn't matter if you get a different amount to me, it's fine. We've got something. See, they're not the same distance apart, nothing like that. I've just kind of filled it. Okay. So if I stay with my pen, I'm going to come up and I'm going to create another line up there. Okay, look at that shimmer. I hope you can see it. And again, sort of create one of those shapes. And fill in the gaps with little lines. So I'm going to do both ends first, I think. And then down into that bit. Okay, so I'm going to do another one this side. And see, they're really quite large and sweeping. Okay. To that bit. And again, I'm going to come in and fill those shapes in. So back and forth, not trying to make them the same, doesn't matter. We just want some lines in there. So it gives it that. I know we can't see this bit yet, but we're going to have a look at that now. Okay. So if I turn it around slightly, I'm going to start at this point section here. And I'm going to come in and create like a loop shape. You two, pack it in. Not you two. So I'm going to sort of stay within that shape. See, I'm going to get a thin one there. Okay, let's go in a little bit so you can see that. Okay. And I'm going to put some more lines through them, just one. Please don't eat my chair, Finley. Goodness me. It looks so sweet, and then when you're next looking, he's eating something he shouldn't be. All right. Let's go out a little. Oh, you can see that bling. Look at that. Okay. So we've got that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to sort of put myself a little bit of, kind of, when I say odd shapes, I'm going to sort of follow that little bit of loops around, almost like crazy paving, and just, you know, round off those little bits. Into here. Benji's just got out of the way because he's obviously trying to do something. Oi! And let's sort of do a similar thing. Look, I'm going to come round and put these little shapes in. And sort of keep the shape going. Amazing, isn't it? The amount of things that somebody can find under your table, especially when you think you've cleaned up. All right. So, sort of following that shape round, keeping those little going. Okay. Same again. So this is a good time if you want to sort of change that shape a little bit. Oh dear. You can, you know, create your own shape to suit. So I did do a bit of a random shape to start with. And sort of draw it round. Okay. So one more, so it sort of finishes that shape off. But you know, if it's a little bit in, it doesn't quite fulfill the shape, that's fine, as long as it's sort of within. Okay. Okay. So far so good. So I'm going to put some little dots to kind of finish off this line around here. See how they're getting a little bit smaller as I go around? Here I'm not going to worry about it so much. I just wanted to finish that bit off there. Okay. So I'm going to swap over now for a minute. Or shall I? Now I'm going to stick with this just for a minute. That's what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in another kind of thin loop there. Put a line in it, just like these ones. And I can do a small one there, look. Let's put one in here. Get a little line in. Get a little one in there. So I've kind of got that going off. And then here too. Pull in like that. Maybe this way. I'm just going to put one in there as well. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to swap over my pen. I'm actually going to bring in my fountain pen. And this has got the same colour ink in it as I've done with the background. Okay, let's move in a little bit. Again, you can do this with a grey pen. You could do it with a different colour. You could stick with your black. I'm just going to remove that line from around the edge of that now, because we can see where it is, so that's fine. So, okay, let's sort of start in this bit here. I'm going to come in with some kind of, you know, like we've just done with those shapes. Kind of a bit random. So it's quite dark at the minute, this one. I think maybe it's because I've got other inks in there to kind of get you going. Or is this actually the one I'm supposed to be using? Yeah, I think so. And so these little odd shapes, keep them quite small. And then we're going to start to kind of round them off. So we'll work our way up. So, you know, they're not going to all be small. You can put some little dots in. Put a larger one there. All right, let's have a look at how this is sort of panning out. So none of these bubbles are touching each other. Usually we would have them touching, but not today. So they're kind of together, but not together. There we go. So it sort of wanders off and out into that shape there. But real close sort of down here. I'm going to put some little dots down there as well. So similar kind of thing here. I'm going to sort of come in with that almost odd shape, you know, like we did inside that shape there. Maybe it's spinny. No. Okay. And then because we gradually sort of move around, we start putting in bubbles. Oh, good grief. I'm going to have to put him away in a minute. Throw him in a cupboard. It's obviously playtime. Okay, see? Okay, see how that's sort of, they're close, but they're not seriously close. Just 1 minute. And let's go and fill a few more of those in there. Good. And then same sort of thing here, like so we've got those odd little random shapes. If you've done Draconis the dragon, then scales and things like that you will have done. Goodness me. Now he's trying to eat the chair. Good grief. Okay. If anybody's not sure who I'm talking about, Finley's only 4 months old. Is our newest addition, our little puppy, our little playmate for Benji, who's 5. But I don't think he's so sure. I think Benji's still looking for the receipt and see if we can take him back. All right. Okay. See how it's just sort of, I'm not looking at anything else at all. I'm just focusing on this little bit that I've got. My bubbles are different sizes and they're not touching. There's kind of more there though, and then they sort of peter off a little bit as we go further up. Okay. See? All right. So I'm going to put that away for a minute. And oh, what do I need? I need a pencil. I think I can do. I'm not going to use that one though. I'm just going to get my 2D. Or not. There we go. And where shall we start? I think we're going to start with these little shapes here. The ones that we drew with the lines. Okay. Just want to make sure that this is dry as well. Don't forget, because it's fountain pen, it's water based. So we want to make sure it dries. Okay. So inside here then, let's start with those bottom sections there. Let's come in with a bit of that. And the same here. So I've gone in quite heavy with that. And I'm going to do all of those at the same time. And a little bit there. In with this one and along there. Now if you've got a different colour tile, you might not want to do this, but being that I've got a blue tile, I'm going to use my white chalk. I'm going to bring some in there just before I start to blend that grey out. You see I've gone into each separate section. And the nice thing is I've used like glitter ink underneath, but it's not affecting what I'm drawing on the top of it at all. Okay, Tortillon, and I'm going to soften off the pencil this end. Okay, just touch it a little bit towards that white. Same on this side. Just sort of following it through there. Same with this one. So I'm going to sort of just make sure that's filled in there. Bringing this bit off. Let's work it round there. I got carried away with that bit. Same on this one. And into this one. So same sort of thing. I'm not touching the white in the middle. I'm just kind of moving that pencil into it, but only on the edge. I'm not going to try and blend too much. Let's have a little look at that. Okay, so far so good. So come back with pencil. Now if you want to, you can also bring a coloured pencil in at this point. So you might want to pick out something and use, I don't know, maybe because I've got a blue background, maybe use blue. Or you can use the black editions to create more colour. I'm just kind of sticking with my pencil here, relying on the background, the ink and the background to do its job. So I've put a little bit at the bottom of each of these loops. And I'm just going to very gently kind of soften it off. I'm not going to go all the way to the top. Just bringing it up a little bit. I could even bring in that white chalk again, look, and add a little bit of a highlight in the areas where that pencil's not going to reach. You see, I've kind of come further up on one side than the other, so that's where I've got the space for that white chalk. Okay, so again, let's sort of soften off those bits. Get it round and along. See little bits going in there. I'm not going to really sort of blend in the white. I think it does fine as it is. It kind of does its own thing. But gives us that highlight that we need. So that's good. Okay. So let's have a look at this one, because look, I've forgotten one. Always. I'm not going to worry about the white on that. It's a bit small. So let's have a look at this then. I'm going to come in a little bit. I'm going to sort of pick sort of like kind of that right stroke top side there. That's me. So just sort of adding a little bit of pencil in. Oh dear, I sneezed, now I'm the target. There we go. Just sort of adding that little bit in each time. Now, of course, you could actually colour on the outside instead, which would give you a slightly different effect. But I'm going with that inside section there. A little bit at a time. And the nice thing is, even though I'm putting pencil on top, that sparkle is still coming through. So I'm really impressed with that. You've got to make sure you shake your bottle before you put it on, because the sparkle does go to the bottom of the bottle. Billy! Good grief. Okay, going to come in with my white just to add a little bit that bottom edge there. Okay. All right. Just as we go. So again, not really pressing on with this. It just wants a little hint. Well, look, and I've forgotten a loop there as well. It's amazing. You draw something and then you completely forget to shade it. Do that in a minute. Okay. So there we go. Let's put a little bit of pencil on that. And back in with the Tortillon. So let's go in a little bit so you can see there. All right. See, I've got my pencil there, white there. Let's just do that loop first. And here we go. Sun comes out. nice out there today. A bit chilly still, but quite nice. Okay. And down and along. See, I'm not really touching that white, just coming in with a little bit of softening to it. And then along we go. Again, not trying to fill the whole thing. There we are. And sort of enjoying that process. Okay. So I'm coming back in. I'm going to come in with my black fine liner. Still going to use my 3, but where I've got these darker bits, I'm going to come back in and add a little bit more pen to it. So see, I'm going over it a couple of times just to sort of thicken that bit up. Just kind of gives it that feeling that it's looking in. Okay. Just sort of where I've got the dark bits. Wander around. And just sort of fade it back in. So I'm not going around the whole thing. You can see how, there we go, look. Kind of gives it a little bit more 3D there. And just where that darker shade is, just a little bit thicker, fade it in and out. There we go. Just do that with each one, and I'm only focusing on these bits. I've not done anything on those little bubbles and things around the outside yet, just on this shape. You see, it just gives it a little bit more of a depth there. Okay, into that bit. All right, let's have a little look at that, see what that's done. Okay, you see that's give it a little bit more depth there, but not quite enough because I want to come in and add a little bit of something else to it. So I'm going to stick with my pen. It's a little bit blurry, I do apologise. So I'm going to hold it upright, and where I've got those darker bits, I'm going to come in and add some little dots. No need to press on, just keep it nice and light and let the pen do the work. Let's see if we can see that. Not really. So little dots. So I might just turn my tile over and show you on this. You see. So I'm doing little dots like this, look. You see? And the closer they are together, the darker it looks. You see? And then as you go further out, you get lighter and lighter. So that's the kind of thing we're doing. And I'm going to put it where I've got that shadow going on. So not loads, keep it close to where the thick line is, but then ease it off a little bit as you work your way out. Try not to sort of go into the white chalk because it won't like your pen or your pen won't like it. Just over the pencil. Okay, let's have a little look at that. Move it out a little bit. What is better if you hold your pen nice and gently and stand it upright. So not as you would normally perhaps draw with it, but just giving it that little bit of an extra shape to it. Okay. So little bits as we go. Sort of adding that little bit of texture onto them. To this one. Keep it going. So it doesn't have to be a lot, it's just enough. And if you wanted to, you could do this with, I think a gel pen might be a bit thick, but you could do it with a different colour fine liner or something. So there's lots of kind of options there. Okay. Gives it a little bit something different, doesn't it? Okay. So last but not least, I want to come and have a look at these little bubbles and things we've done around the edge. I'm just going to come in and a bit soften to that. So my bigger pieces, my bigger bubbles, I can add a little bit of pencil in, like so. Some of those as well. But the little ones, not really. So just like a little bit on the edge there. Sort of like a little moon. Little bits. A little smirk on the side. And the white on the opposite side. So if you've got slightly smaller bubbles, you can still come in, look, and add a little bit of white to it. Even though you've not got any pencil in there, it just gives it a little highlight there. Again, you could also do that with a white gel pen. Just add a little dot in there. But being that I've got the chalk one, I might as well use that. Okay. Just do little bits. Like so. So there's not really much to kind of shade in this. So I'm just going to come back in, you know, where the bigger ones, I've got that pencil in. Just give it a little bit of a movement there. Got a bit of pencil there. I'm just going to remove that. I don't need it. And back in with my fine liner. It's nice. This is sort of like moving back and forth and using different pens. We've all got loads and loads of pens, different bits and pieces. So using them in different ways or mixing them together really, I think, makes a difference. I'm just kind of making them a bit darker down that bottom edge, see? So coming along. And sort of, not all at the same sort of length, but just giving them a little bit of extra darkness, you see? Let's do this one. I think if you sort of do it all the way up, you end up with the same sort of thickness of line and depth all the way down. If you do that, you've sort of lost that little bit of extra detail. You don't want to do that. And this one here. So again, like, and it's cutting through that graphite. So where that was almost hiding some of your detail, it's just bringing a little bit of it back. Just sort of evaluating where it is. Yeah. I'm going to do something similar, just sort of at the bottom of these little loops. There. Just want to make sure that you've got some definition in. So again, not drawing all of it, just a part of it. Okay. And this bit. Okay. I think I just once more, it's kind of around those shapes, just in case there's any little bits, you know, that are a little bit misshapen around the edge. I want to make sure we've got them in. And, you know, just having that little bit of sparkle in the background means that you don't really have to do much colouring and things like that. It's sort of appreciating the background. It looks a little bit icy kind of thing, so it's really nice. Really pleased with it. Okay, that'll do. All right, so let's have a little look at this. Can't I go anymore? Oh, let's go bring it up a bit. There you go. So it's kind of an Icelandic kind of blue design. Something a little bit different, as always. Can't be more different than the cat we did the other day. But there you go, there's our tile. And it doesn't take too long, does it? So if you just sit and have a little bit of a moment. And you know what, having an inked tile really makes a difference. So if you look at this around the back, It's just giving that little bit of an interest to it that you wouldn't have usually, perhaps, with just a blank tile. So, I mean, you can ink one as normal, but I'd go a little bit darker with your ink. But if you want to try it, if you've got the Diamine inks, again, I'll show you. I use the Arctic Blue for this one. Just give it, there's a sparkle. Give it a good shake. Lots and lots of water on it, so that's why I did it in the sink. And then a paintbrush and just flick a little bit on and see how it goes. A little bit of salt then, let it completely dry, and it's beautiful and smooth to draw with. It's like there's no glitter on there at all. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope you're going to give it a go. We'll see what it looks like. So, okay, other than that, I'm going to come on and do a little bit of a video. I want a bit of a chat tomorrow. So we'll meet then tomorrow. So a couple of bits I want to sort of share with you, but that can happen tomorrow. Dobby's going to come in on that as well. And other than that, I will catch you tomorrow then, or Friday for our next tile. So have a good one, everybody, and see you soon. Take care. Bye.